standing at the vicious vortex of this conflict between two peoples of faith, standing next to a well of water and standing in a well of controversy. This woman dares to ask Jesus, what does God think about worship? And I hear Jesus say to her, and I hear Jesus say to us, I'm so glad you finally asked. Here you've been worshiping God in this church for 40 years, for 50 years, for 60 years. You never bothered to ask God, what do you want? What does authentic praise look like? And what does a true worshiper look like? Well, I submit to you that first of all, true worshipers are thirsty worshipers. It's not about a denomination. It's not about a form, a genre, or a methodology. True worshipers are thirsty worshipers. And you can't worship God if you're not thirsty. If you ain't thirsty, you can't worship God. And it amazes me as a pastor that sometimes you come to church and you have to beg some folk who claim that they know God to worship God. You have to prod and plead and push and encourage them just to give God a little bit of praise. Here you are sitting up in church this morning, still trying to decide if you're going to worship God or not. I know you don't see what I see, but I see it every now and then on a Sunday morning. Can I tell you, sometimes I show up and I say, why in the world would a person get dressed early in the morning? Why would you get your children dressed? Why would you sit down at breakfast and then hop in the car and put gas in your car at nearly $5 a gallon? Drive all the way into town and find a place to park and come in church and sit down and fold your arms and act like you're not sure if you want to worship God or not. Here it is, 12:01, and somebody hasn't decided yet if God is truly worthy of praise. Well, you better praise God while you have a chance. It's 12:01. We're only going to be here a few minutes. And so if I were you, I'd give God some praise for what God has already done. I'd give God some praise for how far he's already brought me. I'd give God some praise for what he did last week. I wouldn't need anybody to tell me to praise God. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so.